like to start with one question. How many of you over here still have that, butterflies when you come to the stage and you have to speak something? Oh, okay. But don't worry. How much ever you try, you cannot stop butterflies coming in. Because that's the magic of this stage, which is called as munch, and that is why it's tantra. But definitely, we can control it with some techniques. And ladies and gentlemen, and especially for the guest, this is for the prepared speeches. Not only for Toastmasters, for outside, if you are preparing your speech for a certain amount of time, you have a script, you have a dry run, how you can prepare those speeches. This is not for impromptu speaking. So are you all set to start the session?
Yes.
Yes, so let's define a problem statement in a design thinking way. Okay? So I am a Toastmaster, started my journey of public speaking. I'm trying to prepare my speeches, which we all do, but finding difficulty in preparing the content. How many of you over here feel that preparing content is the toughest task? You have a lot of bubbling ideas, but don't know what to start with, how the audience is going to fix. Oh, Gana has 2 hands up. Okay? And then, because my mind is full of ideas, as I said, and which makes me feel underconfident, whether people will, feel like listening to me. Will they listen to me? Are these questions that you guys, everyone have in your mind? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
So if you don't respond in this session, so there is no point of having design thinking. That means we all are not listening. So I need yes.
Yes.
If you don't like it, say no as well. Okay. So let's see how we can solve it. A solution, a design thinking way of selecting topics. Let's ask this question again. How many of you have attended design thinking session? Almost all. So can anybody tell me 3 principles of design thinking which is built off? Yes? Gaurav? One, Gaurav, anyone? Okay. Second? Feasibility. Okay. Third? Viability. Very good. So please big a round of applause for all of you who have attended design thinking. Yes, it's about desirability, that is the people. Viability, that is all about business. And feasibility, that is all about technology. Now you all must be wondering, business, technology, Aikido, Mana, everywhere. But what is to be done with a speech today? Whatever we are trying to do, how we can apply design thinking. So, my whole session I have divided into 3 parts. Why, what, and how. So next time onwards, you ask these 3 questions to yourself before you prepare your speeches. Why I am giving the speech? What is the intent of that speech? And how I can prepare and deliver. So let's get into the nitty-gritties of it. Starting with the desirability part. Desirability is all about people, user experience. Now how many of you know about user experience? Okay. So user experience is nothing but how the end users are going to feel about. Okay. Now when a public professional speaker is standing on a stage and talking, the end users are the audience. Okay. So for a professional speaker, or any speaker in that case, probably in your family life as well, when you are talking to your counter person, he or she is your end user. You have to make sure their experience is perfect and they are able to understand what you are trying to give in a bigger picture of the message. So I call it as emotional innovation because somewhere or the other, people are all connected through emotions, life and love. So it's you, your audience and your content. When I talk about you, connect with your audiences. And how do you connect with your audiences? The lively example that we got was from, I'm going to take Toastmaster Vignesh's speech right now and I'm going to try to evaluate in a design thinking way. The way he started with a story. Were you all able to visualize what exactly was happening?
Yes.
Were you able to visualize there was an ugly lady out there?
No.
No? Yes?
No.
It's a beautiful lady, right? That is what is all about. You're talking about how you can connect with your audience. You start with something that you connect to the audience. So design thinking principle says you start with a story. That story can be yours, the story can be anybody else's. But the point is it should connect to the audience. Now for example, I talk about a technology, Internet of Things. If I speak about Internet of Things in Infosys, how many of you would understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Now if I take the same speech and go to a community club, in Toastmasters community club is a mixture of various types of people where we have housewives, household people as well as doctors and engineers everywhere. So if I talk about technology over there, probably that's not a right platform to talk about Internet of Things. Probably you can talk about food habits. Okay? So you have to select your topic, your speech based on the audiences that you are going to deliver for. Okay? There are a few Toastmasters who try and write all their speeches. Okay? And they are ready with their dry run and they can give one after the other, anywhere their speeches. But I would request each one of you to take a reverse engineering process. Select your speech or topic based on the delivery place or the audience you are looking for. Okay, that will be much more easier for you to write the speech or the content. So when I talk about your audience, make your speech either generic or it can be your personalized story as well. So when I say generic, it can be a life of Steve Jobs. You start with Steve Jobs' quote or Steve Jobs' life, and you can connect with your story that some point of the time you failed, okay, and then you again stood up. So celebrating failure in India, not only India, in UK as well, is the greatest crime, okay. People think that if you celebrate failure on the stage, then probably people are going to judge. But trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when you celebrate failure, that is the time you come out of your failure. So if you really want to come out of your problems, then you need to celebrate your failure. You have to prepare a content in a way that there are chances that you must have, when you are kids, you ride bicycles, right? So whenever there is a rain, you slip off. Okay, that's also a failure. So how do you select a speech title out of it? So if you walk around the Infosys campus, you will find for the bicycle riders, it's written, steep slopes ahead, drive carefully, can be your speech title. And you talk about how you went up in your life and that at one point of time, you just failed. And then you realize that yes, I can get up. That is how you can select your speech title as well as your content. Now talking about the content, a personalized story, as I said before, it's all connected to the content part. Now, if you do all of these things together, probably you're not going to have this kind of audiences whenever you speak. You're going to have more active audiences talking to you, looking at you, smiling at you, probably taking you outside for a cup of coffee and ask you, hey, what are the other things that you talk about in your speech? Okay? This is the why part, why you need to do the speech. Okay? Now, moving on to the what part. Let's see the viability, business, okay? Let's talk about the business technology or the business consulting terms. What is the business of a prepared speaker to deliver a speech? You must be thinking, business? Giving speech? The business is very simple. To motivate each one of you, to make you laugh, to make you smile on my failures, to make you understand how you can improve, or you are not the only one who is failing. Probably everybody else fails and you can also start gaining out of it. So let's talk about the viability, and I call it as a reputation innovation because when you come onto the stage, there are two ways. Either you motivate the audience and you're called as a motivator, or you make the audience laugh and you've been called as humorous speaker. So it depends on your speech and the content that how you want to make sure that you are presented in a correct way. So the stage is yours, the audiences are also yours, okay? But the idea that you want to share, somewhere or the other, has to connect to the business of each one of you. Can any one of you tell me what is the greatest problem right now for any human being? Okay, human being, not living beings. I'm talking about human beings only. What is the greatest trouble or the problem? Survive, okay. Anything else?
Environmental pressure.
This is too high. Let's calm down. Okay, anything else? Yes, okay.
Fear.
Yes, it's coming back.
Self-doubt.
Sorry?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt, okay.
What will people think about us?
Judgment, okay. Anything else?
Stage fear.
Stage fear, okay. Anything else? Disappointment.
Fear of failure.
Yes, fear. Yes, it's disappointment. People are scared about getting disappointed. How many of you have faced breakups? My God, Vignesh was the first one. Okay, how many breakups in Chandigarh? No. Oh my God.
Oh God!
How many breakups in Mangalore? Only one. That's really nice. Okay. Now when I say, okay, wait on, hold on. What did you thought when I said about breakup? Yes. What do you think about breakup?
I cannot put it together because it was 2 days back.
Okay. Is it between a boy and a girl? Okay. I was talking about the breakup in your professional life as well, ladies and gentlemen. Breakups like, I didn't get my appraisal. When will I go to on-site? And what is going to happen when I'm in bench? These are different kinds of breakups. So how many of you get motivated by looking at others? Over here. Like any big people or small people, you move on looking at them. Your friends probably when you're in a romantic relationship, right? Yeah. You move on, right? Looking at them, oh, that person moved on, I can also move on. But ladies and gentlemen, the greatest example if you can lead your life with is you yourself. The place that you are sitting right now has been earned by you. Nobody gave it to you on a plate as a gift. So greatest example, if you ever have to lead your life, is you yourself. Here goes your next content for your prepared speeches. Talk about your failures, talking about the desirability. Everyone over here has failed somewhere or the other. I have failed in my life quite often. You know, a lot of time. I started my journey with a very, the company was good, job was bad. I used to start my day, you call it night, at 2:30 a.m. I used to go to office. And by the time when everybody goes to office, at 10:30 a.m. everybody checks in, normal people, I have to come and sleep. But that is what taught me what more I can do. So I have a good friend of mine, whenever he used to come to the stage, he used to be very nervous, shaky, his hands used to shake, he used to shiver. And you won't believe that his speech title was Let It Shake Me More Evil. And he gave his CC1 like this. Let it happen, it's okay. This is what is all about, how you can talk more about yourself. This is about viability, business, the purpose that you want to talk about, and people know you better. Wow, he motivated me. She is so funny, humorous speaker. That dude is a powerful voice. Now let's talk about the how part. That's the last part. The feasibility. Or the tech. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Chandigarh DC.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think exposing your weaknesses can make you a successful person?
Okay, we'll get into the Q&A. We have 2 minutes left for Q&A. So we will get back to for the Q&A. Let me complete the session.
Right.
Sure. So let's talk about the feasibility. Feasibility is nothing but the technology. The technology is your inner engineering. So how many of you know about Isha Foundation? Or yeah, a lot of people. So inner engineering is nothing about, ask this question to yourself. Can your speeches imbibe the thoughts in real life and can be implemented by each one of you? Your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings, when you put together, you get the conclusion of your speech. So these are the three main facets where you can apply design thinking, talk about the desirability of the people or the audiences, talk about the business that you want, how do you want to project yourself, and talk about the feasibility, like how you can connect your speech with each one of your life. And I call this as your speech is an experience innovation. That is all about design thinking, how to prepare your speeches. And I'm open for question and answer from Chandigarh DC first because they. Thank you so much. Yes, please, Chandigarh DC, go ahead.
My question was that exposing your weaknesses can never make you strong. It will make you weaker.
And why?
So, what is your point about it?
No, my question would be, why do you think that your weakness when you expose is going to make you weaker?
Because people are going to know about it. People who were oblivious about it, they were going to know that this is your weakness, and they might notice that in future.
That is the point. Probably that is the way you can send a loud message to each one of that. The people are judging because of your weaknesses. But what is the reason behind that weaknesses and how you came out of it? Probably people are going to applaud for it. And when you hear that applause, you will move on. I have done it, so it works with me a lot. When I'm emotionally down, I hit the stage. And I am hitting the stage because I'm... Yes, I am, ladies and gentlemen. We can have one last question from Bangalore DC. And remaining will connect. Yes, Vignesh.
For Bangalore DC.
Look, you said make speeches out of your experience.
Yes?
You able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
So how many speeches you think you can make out of your experience? At max you'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 experiences in your life. And at Toastmaster we're expected to make 40 speeches. ATM, so I have to keep doing stuff and giving speeches. So
Yeah,
when
so
you run out of experiences.
I would like to ask this question. How many times you have felt every day coming to office, not now, before, I know your story, you are motivated to work. Tell me this.
You know my story, how can you ask this question?
So here we go, every day you have a speech. And I should not leave Bangalore also. Bangalore DC, one last question.
Go ahead. No, we don't have any questions here.
Thank you so
We
much.
understood. We understood everything.
Okay. For further more questions, you can obviously connect with me offline and I'm here to help you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience.